Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're really getting into something special. We're peeling back the layers of a deeply resonant narrative, Things We Left Behind by Lucy Score.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for those of you who've already journeyed through this #1 New York Times bestseller, you know it's way more than just a romance novel.
Oh, absolutely.
Our mission today is to really unearth let's say, the profound emotional architecture of this book.
Yeah.
We'll be exploring how Lucy Score just masterfully weaves together these themes of trauma, unwavering loyalty, and, the transformative power of love and chosen family,
Yeah.
all through the complex lens of Sloane Walton and Lucian Rollins, set against that really vibrant backdrop of Knockemout.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's not just about what happens, right? It's about how it happens and maybe why it resonates so deeply with readers. I mean, you see those reviews like, this book has it all, or impossible to put down. There's something there.
There really is.
So we're going to dig into those nuances, the things that make the story so compelling, really focusing on the character motivations, the themes that sort of stick with you after you finish reading.
That's a great point about what makes it stick, and what pulls you in immediately, I think, besides those glowing reviews, is how Lucy Score introduces these characters. They're just so unforgettable. Let's start with Sloane. Thinking back to her introduction at her father's funeral.
Yeah.
What really strikes you about how she's coping right at the start? And how does that maybe foreshadow her whole journey, her vulnerability, but also her resilience?
It's incredibly telling, isn't it? That first line about the fortifying sip of breakfast wine.
Right.
Or, her plan to feign a migraine just so she can cry alone. These aren't just throwaway details. They immediately show you Sloane is someone who feels grief really, really deeply, but she fiercely guards that private pain. It's like a key insight into her emotional core and maybe that initial tendency she has to isolate, even though you sense she craves connection.
And even with that desire to be alone, we instantly see she's surrounded by this vibrant, maybe a little quirky support system.
Absolutely.
Her friends, Naomi and Lena, they're like these crucial emotional anchors. And even her cat, her obnoxious cat, Cleo,
Meow. Yeah.
provides those moments of relatable chaos right in the middle of her grief. What do these relationships tell us about her world? Like even the mundane stuff, Naomi smelling like lemon pledge.
Well, it's fascinating how those small details paint such a vivid picture of her emotional landscape. Naomi's pledge scent, Lena's sort of edgy vibe, even Cleo's unapologetic catness.
Yeah.
They represent the comfort Sloane finds in the familiar, the authentic.
Yeah.
It's a real contrast to the kind of performative world she sometimes has to navigate. They're a chosen family.
Yeah.
They ground her when she feels adrift.
Absolutely. And her father's influence, even though he's gone, it's just palpable. You see her finding comfort in his study with that hideous yard sale find desk lamp he loved just because it cast adequate light.
And was therefore perfect.
Exactly. It's not just nostalgia, is it? It says so much about the kind of unpretentious, practical love he gave her.
Mm-hmm.
How does that foundation, and maybe those little sticky notes on his calendar, order anniversary flowers, bigger this year. How does that shape her vision for her own future, her dream of a big, loud, messy family?
Oh, those details are just critical. That hideous but perfect lamp. It symbolizes a love built on genuine usefulness and acceptance, not flashiness.
Right.
And the sticky notes tell Sloane about that book. Gosh, they just underscore the ongoing nature of grief. It's not just loss, but the presence of his thoughtful intention that lingers. And that's precisely the kind of authentic, messy, deeply loving connection Sloane is looking for, which really highlights the gap between that ideal and, her dating app experiences.
Yeah.
Where her profile, complete with cat, is famously repelling dicks.
It is such a relatable struggle, isn't it? That contrast between deep desires and the often, superficial world of modern dating. Okay, let's pivot. Let's talk about the other half of this really powerful duo, Lucian Rollins. Lucian. His introduction is just a masterclass in duality. Sloane feels that innate biological warning that danger was near, but it's immediately followed by this warm, happy, reflexive, there you are. What does that instant contradictory reaction tell us about their shared history and about Lucian himself?
That initial, almost primal reaction from Sloane, it just perfectly captures the core tension of their relationship. It's not simply attraction.
No.
It's recognition. It's
Yeah.
this deep awareness of their tangled past and the powerful, maybe dangerous connection they share. Lucian, in his impeccable dark suit, he initially projects this image of a soulless robot, the dragon of Knockemout.
Totally. All about the money.
Right. But then you get these glimmers of unexpected kindness, bringing Sloane her favorite burrito.
Which he shouldn't know about.
Exactly. Or lending her his coat, that delectably dangerous cashmere coat.
Yeah.
These are like tiny cracks in that formidable mask, hinting at someone much deeper, much more complex underneath.
And those cracks are so crucial. They hint at a really scarred past, don't they?
Oh, yeah.
His upbringing with Ansel, his abusive father, it casts such a long shadow. That moment where teenage Lucian finally fights his dad and realizes, I wasn't the dutiful teenage son anymore. I was him. That's profound.
It's a huge turning point.
So how did Mr. Walton stepping in, Sloane's dad, promising, we're not abandoning you, Lucian, I'm going to fix this, how did that change things for him? How did it shape his whole life, really, from wanting to be rich to going after Anthony Hugo?
It was absolutely critical. Mr. Walton's compassion, right at that moment, it offered Lucian a lifeline, a different path.
Yeah.
You know, his teenage desire to be rich, it wasn't about greed. It was born from this gut-level need to protect his mother, to stop that kind of trauma from ever happening again.
Makes sense.
And that deep drive for protection, it leads directly to his adult mission against Anthony Hugo. It's not about personal gain for Lucian. It's this profound sense of justice, of responsibility. Because Hugo hurt the people I loved. He's fundamentally a protector, even if he hides it under that tough exterior.
So we've looked at their separate worlds, their deep wounds. The real artistry, I think, is how Score brings these two incredibly complex people together. Their relationship isn't straightforward romance. It's more like this intricate, often painful dance, push and pull.
Yeah, exactly.
Why does that antagonism stick around for so long? What purpose does it serve for them?
Well, their antagonism is like this finely tuned defense mechanism. It's almost a language only they really understand. Like the book says, every time one of us showed a side that was a little too human, the other managed to strike. Walls were rebuilt, animosity reinforced.
Wow.
Lucian especially, he builds this elaborate front because he's terrified. Terrified that his proximity to me brought her too close to danger. It always had. I mean, he dated, what was it, an army of the most beautiful and talented women just to make Hugo think Sloane wasn't important to him, to keep her off the radar.
That's quite a sacrifice, isn't it? To deliberately create a public image just to shield someone.
It truly is. It just highlights the depth of his protective instincts, even when it comes across as coldness.
And yet, despite all those walls, you get these really poignant moments where vulnerability just breaks through. Like when Lucian confesses to Emery, his friend, you love this girl-turned-woman who placed herself between you and your abuser.
That's powerful.
What do those moments tell us about the real nature of their connection? How do they sort of foreshadow that the defenses are eventually going to come down?
Those moments are the story's emotional anchors. Lucian's confession to Emery. It acknowledges that deep, unbreakable bond forged way back in their childhood trauma, a bond of mutual protection, mutual understanding.
Right.
And Sloane's reassurance to him, you're already better. You do it better than they did. That's huge. It's her unwavering belief in his goodness, seeing past the dragon thing, that really offers him a path to healing. It hints that their whole antagonistic dance can only go on for so long before, truth and love win out.
And we can't forget the nicknames. The playful but telling Burrito and Pixie.
Definitely not.
Lucian thinking, my burrito wants nothing to do with Sloane Walton, and needing to keep telling your burrito that. It's funny, but it also reveals so much about his hidden feelings.
Absolutely. They're like terms of endearment disguised in teasing, a private language showing their unique bond. But this whole dynamic gets seriously tested when Sloane's sense of justice kicks in, pulling her into something new and dangerous. The case of Mary Louise Upshaw.
Ah, yes. This storyline is such a catalyst, isn't it? It forces both Sloane and Lucian to really confront their true feelings and, frankly, the stakes involved. Sloane finding those newspaper clippings about Mary Louise sentenced to 20 years after changing her plea to protect her son. It's just heartbreaking.
It really is. Such an injustice.
And it really galvanizes Sloane, puts her into action.
Indeed. It's a classic Lucy Score moment, where the quiet strength of a character like Sloane really comes through. But what's so compelling here is Lucian's hidden role. He's working behind the scenes, hiring Fran Vereen, the best of the best lawyer.
The expensive one.
Right. All without Sloane knowing. It's another powerful example of his protective side, always watching, always planning for her safety.
And Fran Vereen, who's pretty shrewd herself, she makes Sloane the face of the case,
Yeah.
recognizes her appeal as this small-town librarian who believes in social justice.
Smart, pretty, and non-threatening.
Exactly. Which, of course, puts Sloane right in the line of fire. And that kicks off this terrifying escalation of threats. What do these threats, the anonymous note, the dead rats,
Ugh, the rats.
the physical attack, and then the library fire, what do they reveal about the darkness they're up against? And how do they force Lucian to finally drop his guard?
The escalating threats are just masterful storytelling. Builds tension, drives the plot. They show how ruthless Anthony Hugo is and the corruption that's woven into the town. And for Lucian, these threats are just intolerable. His declaration, "While you're mine, I get to know when someone is scaring you," it's his blunt, raw way of claiming responsibility for her.
It's very Lucian.
Very Lucian. And his rescue. Climbing that cherry tree, the same one he climbed as a kid to get into her room to save her from the fire. It's not just a rescue. It's his full circle moment. It symbolizes his complete re-engagement in her life. He literally becomes her shadow.
Okay, and here's where it gets really interesting for me. Because Sloane, our unassuming librarian, makes the critical breakthrough, the one that ties it all together.
Yes.
What does she uncover, and how does it shift the whole investigation?
This is Sloane's moment to absolutely shine. It's a testament to the quiet power of intellect, right?
Totally.
As librarian, her job is knowing things. And she connects Anthony Hugo to private prisons, Frau's Correctional Center, and Lucrum, prisons where he could basically make inmates disappear.
Gelling.
It is. And this discovery isn't just the key evidence needed to take down Hugo. It also validates Lucian's relentless pursuit. It shows that his whole Goblin King act was always in service of something bigger, something honorable.
And all of this leads towards this really powerful resolution, a future they build together. Lucian finally has that emotional breakthrough at Emery's place, confessing he still hears the snap of your bones in my head from when Ansel broke Sloane's wrist as kids. That guilt he carried.
Decades.
What's the significance of Sloane's reassurance right then? How does that finally let him heal?
Oh, that scene at Emery's is the emotional peak for Lucian. Sloane saying, "You did nothing wrong, Lucian. You don't have him in you. I see more of my father than yours in you." That is the key. It unlocks decades of his self-blame. Her unconditional acceptance truly frees him. It lets him finally believe he's worthy of love, that he's not doomed to repeat his father's cycle.
Wow.
This is a profound act of love and empathy. And it paves the way for everything that comes next.
And from there, their path to, well, happily ever after is just classic Sloane and Lucian, isn't it?
Yeah.
Unconventional, full of their banter.
We're up to the proposal.
Exactly, culminating in his heartfelt proposal and her just joyous yes. And finally, justice prevails for the community too.
Yes, the bad guys finally go down. Judge Atkins, former Chief Ogden, and Anthony Hugo gets arrested. It's satisfying seeing the power of community and these two strong people fighting for what's right. And Lucian even takes a bullet for Sloane, just cementing that commitment. I hate when you hurt.
And then Lucian's grand gesture, and that massive donation to the library, creating jobs for Mary Louise, Alan, even Sloane's mom.
Yeah.
It's him funding my dreams with your money, as Sloane puts it. What does that symbolize about him fully becoming part of her world, the completion of his transformation?
It's the ultimate symbol, really. It's not just about protecting Sloane anymore. It's about embracing and nurturing her world, her passions, her community. It shows his complete commitment, using his wealth not for himself, but to support the people and places Sloane loves. He's actively building that big, loud, messy family they both wanted.
Yeah.
And their own quiet wedding, with Emery officiating, Lucian saying, "Everything I did was for you, Sloane, because it was always you."
And her saying back, "You're everything I ever wanted." It just perfectly wraps up their journey.
It really does.
And that little touch in the bonus epilogue, the Christmas tree angel that looks like Simon Walton, her dad.
Ah, yeah.
It leaves you with such a heartwarming feeling, doesn't it? That sense of enduring love, bridging the past and future.
It's a beautiful touch.
Yeah.
A subtle reminder that the love of those we've lost, it still shapes us. And that chosen family, it extends beyond the living, creating this unbroken chain of affection.
What an incredible journey we've taken with Sloane and Lucian, from that fiery start, all the hidden history, to a love story really forged in fire and vulnerability. Our deep dive today really brought out some powerful insights, I think, beyond just the plot points.
Indeed. We've definitely seen the undeniable power of chosen family, the enduring, sometimes hidden impact of childhood trauma. and that quiet strength you find in self-acceptance and in believing in someone else's inherent goodness. Ultimately, it's about how love can heal and transform, even when you feel, too broken, and how finding your place often means letting yourself be truly seen.
So what does this all mean for you, listening? In a world that often asks us to be strong, to be self-sufficient, what might we gain if we actually allowed ourselves to be truly seen, flaws and all, by the people who care about us the most? Something to think about until our next deep dive.